Indonesia is the largest archipelagic country in the world, consisting of 17,499 islands, with a long coastline of 81,000 kilometers, and its water consists of territorial sea, archipelagic waters, and inland waters covering 2.7 million kilometers, or 70% of the territory of Indonesia. Indonesia as a maritime country has a unique configuration, and at the same time very challenging, because it has a cross position, is flanked by 2 continents and 2 oceans. With this strategic position, Indonesia's sea lanes are becoming an important channel for both national and international shipping. All eyes are on Indonesia, as the President of Indonesia stated that the government of Indonesia aimed to transform Indonesia into a global maritime fulcrum. President articulations are an important step forward in Indonesia's effort toward developing a grand maritime strategy in making Indonesia a country with maritime power through the development of maritime culture, maritime infrastructure, maritime resources, maritime diplomacy, and maritime defense. For this reason, to realize these ideals, port subsector is one of the most important aspects to ensure the flow of logistics and shipping traffic can run smoothly. One of the main ports that is the gateway for national and international economic connectivity in Indonesia is Tanjung Priok Port. Currently, Tanjung Priok Port is the backbone of national development because this port handles more than 30% of Indonesia's non-oil and gas commodities, and 50% of all goods flows in and out of Indonesia, making Tanjung Priok Port the biggest and busiest port in Indonesia. Tanjung Priok Port Authority, as a work unit of the Directorate General of Sea Transportation, Ministry of Transportation, is responsible for regulating, controlling, and supervising commercially operated port activities aimed at improving competence and efficient performance at Tanjung Priok Port. The Tanjung Priok Port Authority Office is divided into 3 main divisions: the administrative section, which carries out financial, personnel and general affairs, law, and public relations affairs. Sea traffic and transportation, operations, and port business sector has the task of carrying out the regulation of ship traffic in and out of the port through ship piloting, ensuring security and order and the smooth flow of goods at the port. The planning and development sector has the task of carrying out the provision and regulation of land and port waters usage, provision and maintenance of port facilities, preparation of port master plan, and tariff proposal. Provide the best services for several port facilities under the auspices of Tanjung Priok Port Authority, such as the container terminal, passenger terminal, and several special terminals located in Tanjung Priok Port Authority work areas. Several service innovation breakthroughs were made to facilitate better coordination and to improve services to port users and the maritime community. In a PortNet is an open and neutral electronic portal to facilitate fast, safe, neutral, and easy exchange of port service data and information that is integrated with relevant government entities, port business entities, and logistics industry to increase the competitiveness of the Indonesian logistics community. Stevedoring Labor Monitoring System, Simon TKBM. Simon TKBM utilizes information technology to load a centralized stevedoring laborers database so that it is able to monitor the in and out traffic of labors to port. It also makes it easier for port users, in this case the stevedoring company, to utilize the labors. Single Truck Identification Data, STID. STID becomes the sole identity of each truck, which is recorded centrally under the supervision of the Tanjung Priok Port Authority Office and IPC, as well as in the operating system of all terminals, and is used to carry out gate in-out transactions at all terminals in the Tanjung Priok port area. Other online services. Port users can access company registration services, licensing services, information on standard operating procedures or SOPs in the port environment, complaint services and mail delivery through the portal provided on the page opaypriok.dephub.go.id. In order to realize the EcoPort, Tanjung Priok Port Authority has also implemented the ISO 14001-2015 Environmental Management System in carrying out activities as a port regulator, which must encourage all port stakeholders to be environmentally aware, and ISO 45001-2018 for Health and Safety Environment Management. To ensure service quality, Tanjung Priok Port Authority has also implemented ISO 9001-2015 by ensuring that all public service business processes are in accordance with the provisions of the legislation and service standards desired by users. Tanjung Priok Port Authority has succeeded in obtaining the title of corruption-free area, as well as being an organization that is aiming for a clean and serving bureaucratic area in 2019, and also implementing ISO 37001-2016, the standards governing anti-bribery management systems.
Tentunya kita sangat berharap bahwa fungsi Otoritas Pelabuhan Tanjung Priok dapat memperlancar pengaturan atau arus lalu lintas barang yang keluar masuk di Tanjung Priok.
Dengan ini mendukung kinerja yang dilakukan Kantor Otoritas Pelabuhan Utama Tanjung Priok agar dapat tercapai fungsi pengaturan, pengendalian, dan pengawasan kegiatan kepelabuhanan. Sehingga upaya-upaya yang telah dilakukan selama ini dapat tercapai di wilayah Pelabuhan Tanjung Priok.
To expedite the flow of national logistics, which is a joint strategy between ministries at the national level, Tanjung Priok Port Authority takes part in the National Logistic Ecosystem Program, which is a logistic ecosystem that harmonizes the flow of goods and international documents traffic from the arrival of transportation facilities until the goods arrive at the warehouse by creating efficient regulations, simplifying business processes, and implementing a centralized logistics platform system.
Mendukung kinerja yang dilakukan Kantor Otoritas Pelabuhan Utama Tanjung Priok agar dapat tercapai fungsi pengendalian dan pengawasan sehingga apa yang menjadi upaya dapat tercapai di wilayah Pelabuhan Tanjung Priok.
Semoga sinergisitas Kantor Otoritas Pelabuhan bersama seluruh pemangku kepentingan dapat semakin kuat untuk meningkatkan pelayanan di kawasan Pelabuhan Tanjung Priok.
Tanjung Priok Port, in carrying out port activities, is not only based on business-oriented, but also gives priority for the environment and the preservation of coastal ecosystem habitats around the port. The Port Authority of Tanjung Priok Port continues to make efforts to make it a green port by implementing an integrated port waste management system and EcoPort concept, which has four main pillars, including fulfillment of all regulatory requirements in the environmental field, application of environmental management system, implementation of green initiatives, stakeholder involvement to support compliance of regulations and implementation of green initiatives at the port.
Kinerja program dan inovasi-inovasi yang dilakukan oleh Kantor Otoritas Pelabuhan Utama Tanjung Priok. Kami senantiasa berharap untuk dapat terus bersinergi dan berkolaborasi dalam setiap kegiatan kepelabuhanan, khususnya menjadikan kawasan pelabuhan Tanjung Priok yang berbasis BBK dan BBPM sehingga apa yang menjadi upaya yang dilakukan dapat tercapai dan menjadikan Pelabuhan Tanjung Priok berdaya saing serta bertaraf internasional.
Tanjung Priok Port continues to improve the quality of its services. Tanjung Priok Main Port Authority developed strategic plans to achieve the maximum potential of an international standard port by port area and stacking field expansion plan, reducing the level of congestion in the port area by applying information system technology based on the Internet of Things, combined with artificial intelligence in order to predict the point of congestion to peak hours at the port, so that officers can unravel congestion based on the information provided by the system. Applying artificial intelligence technology with the help of sensors on ships, waters, and port areas to be able to carry out a shipping management system so that it can find out the flow of ships' traffic in ports, dangers in the waters, the density of stacking fields, and other smart functions. That aim to make Tanjung Priok Port as a smart port with the #1 technology service in Indonesia, with policy of environmental protection, and confirmed Tanjung Priok Port as a world-class port, which in the end placed Indonesia as the world maritime fulcrum. Tanjung Priok Port Authority. Synergy and harmony to serve the nation.